Grace and peace to you, Christ Community family. I hope and pray you're healthy and well as we come together for our Wednesday's Word, our midweek devotionals, our video devotionals, where we have been studying through the 10 Commandments. Now for this week, as we continue our study, we will be studying the 9th commandment, which is, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Exodus chapter 20 verse 16 teaches us, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Heidelberg Catechism, Lord's Day 43, question and answer 112 teaches us, what is the aim of the 9th commandment? That I never give false testimony against anyone, twist no one's words, nor gossip or slander, nor join in condemning anyone rashly or without hearing. Rather, in court and everywhere else, I should avoid lying and deceit of every kind. These are the very devices the devil uses, and they would call down on me God's intense wrath. I should love the truth, speak it candidly, and openly acknowledge it. And I should do what I can to guard and advance my neighbor's good name. Church, this commandment is a reminder that God is not teaching us to be one-dimensional. It's not simply just about, hey, don't lie about your neighbors, the end. This commandment is also teaching us that God is actually wanting us to be truthful, because God himself is truthful. You see, if we're God's children, but we're not acting like God's children, then we're contradicting our identity as God's children, because God himself cannot lie. If we love lying and bearing false witness about our neighbors, but God never does that, something's not right. Something doesn't make sense. Now, originally, this commandment was actually tied closer to like a legal courtroom setting, where the context was more for the call for these witnesses to be truthful, because a false testimony can skew, can ruin, can impact, and potentially even cause impact on one's reputation, property, or even their life. Now, I appreciate how our Heidelberg Catechism teaches us that it's not just about not giving false testimony. It's actually a call on us to not twist our words, that there's power in our words. And it's a call on us to not even jump on those rumors that others may have started. It's a call on being discerning and being careful with the words that we hear. We can't just believe it until, and just think that that's it. We need to have this discernment to see and pray and figure out. Look carefully, it connects the power of these words to the very devices that the devil uses. How powerful is that? How scary is that, actually? To pretty much imply that lying is evil. Giving false witness is evil. Putting down a neighbor with words is evil. When you talk smack and when you're talking behind someone's back, that's evil. I also appreciate the love of neighbor that we see in this commandment. The importance of the care for the other, the importance for the care for the neighbor, and more importantly, the call to be selfless. If we don't know how to be selfless, we won't be able to build one another up. One thing that I love teaching about in our new members class or our profession of faith classes is about covenant theology. One of our core tenets, our core DNAs of our Reformed tradition, Reformed faith, Reformed practice. And in covenant theology, we are reminded of God's promise that we live in and live for. And if you think about God's sovereignty in that promise, this commandment teaches us that it's more than just about don't lie in court about your neighbor. This commandment is also teaching us to embody and emulate the Lord in being truthful, because our God is a truthful God, and being fair, but most importantly, to be charitable. This commandment is also teaching us to protect our neighbor's honor and reflect God's truthfulness in how we care for the other. My hope and prayer is that we can live by this call this week as we reflect on the words, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Love you all, but God loves you more. I hope you have a blessed week.